So we have a lot of brand new information and good stuff to share in today's update. So hey everyone, how's it going today? And welcome back to another update. So the big great news to really share in today's update is that there is now actually officially one state that is now officially just approved of their brand new fourth stimulus check. Along with that though, in every other state, so now this part applies to all 50 states, is that there are several programs now that have now officially been revived and put back onto the table. So we're gonna get talking all about everything, but as always, real fast, before we begin, maybe to start off with is consider smashing the like button if you guys hopefully enjoy videos like this. Consider subscribing and hitting the bell. And as always, feel free to comment any questions, personal thoughts, or you guys can maybe watch to the end, decide until then. But of course, it is always greatly appreciated. So huge thanks if you guys have been here for a while. So with that being said, let's get this video started right on the spot. So maybe to start off with, one of the great news in today's update is that there is now officially one state that is now officially just approved of their own individual fourth stimulus check, but specifically a $600 fourth stimulus check. This has now officially been approved inside of the House. It has been approved inside of the Senate, so it's not a partial approval, but it's a true officially approval. And that state is going to be a really, really huge congrats now to Oregon. So the story to what happened there is that they originally, if you guys remember from a couple updates ago, there was a proposal, there was a bill. We talked about several states that had a bill and a proposal, so definitely check that out if you guys are interested. Maybe I'll put a video at the end screen. But one of those states that we talked about was Oregon. And so the story is that they released their proposal a little bit maybe like 1 or 2 weeks ago. But as of today, if you are watching this on release date, in the last 24 hours, they have now officially approved it inside of the House at a vote of 42-16, and then inside of the Senate at a vote of 23-2. So the really, really great news is that this is now something that's officially made as a legit thing. It means that it's actually legitimately happening now that it's now officially been signed everywhere that it pretty much has to be signed. And what's actually even more particularly special about this is that this was also a proposal / bill that now has been approved, but was also voted in favor of by actually people from both parties. So specifically people from the Democratic and the Republican Party actually all supported this, which means that what's really nice about this is that it also means that it's relatively neutral. That's the really, really great thing, is that it means that there's people from both sides that really, really do believe in it. And then the big thing in terms of the details about it is that what's going to happen going forward from there is that if you happen to live in that state right now, because it was now officially approved just within the last 24 hours, if you're watching this on release date, which means that it's probably going to be relevant into the indefinite future until the checks actually hit people's bank accounts. What they're really going to be working on right now is pretty much just trying to finalize the details about how to actually plan out the delivery, essentially just the logistics of actually getting the stimulus checks inside of people's pockets. The really great news also is that they do anticipate, in terms of the requirements, is that it's going to be going to a lot of people that happen to be low-income workers within that particular state. So they do estimate that by the end, the approximate number of people that will probably be receiving the stimulus check is probably going to be about 250,000. So it's definitely a lot of people. It's not like a mini, it's not like a regional town stimulus where only a couple hundred people. We're talking about like a couple 100,000 people that are going to potentially now be getting this check. And this is just in this one state alone. Because the story is that there are also a lot of other states now that are also contemplating on doing their own programs as well, or already have a program. But by doing, we're talking about like actual big programs now. So not just something that's in one city, but something that's at least on the very state level. I know California is definitely trying to plan an additional stimulus check going forward from here. That one, we're still waiting for information, but at least we have one state now that has now actually officially released information and is now actually officially stamped, documented, and has agreed now to do it. Now, in terms of stuff that's actually maybe happening federally, so things that are now applying to all other 50 states, is really that the first information that's brand new really to share is that, as some of you guys know from one of the past updates, which I'll put at the very end screen, maybe somewhere on the bottom so you guys can watch it if you guys haven't, essentially is that there is a new proposal that recently just came out that applies to all 50 states, which is really called the Family Security Act. This was a proposal that was introduced by Mitt Romney. And so the significance about this is that it means that it's a proposal that not only is it now at least documented in here, but what it also means is that it's because the significance is that it was proposed by a Republican. And I think that's really important, because originally they were trying to just unify the Democrats together to get it through. But now that we officially are starting to see some Republican support, it means that it's really great news, because it means that we're now officially able to now have something a little bit more mutual that maybe both parties can look into. But the new information really to share is that now they're trying to really preach and advocate to have this child tax credit program for families, or just simply put stimulus check programs, because it is a child tax credit program, but there's actually a lot of new specific programs that we kind of talked about that is going to apply to even more specific groups of people, even beyond like just the traditional child tax. But of course, we already talked about that in the last update, so they'll definitely put it at the end screen if you're interested in learning about that. But the big idea to what's happening is that now they're trying to get that going forward. So they're now trying to press on to really gain support on it. But the other new information is that one of the things that they also are interested in potentially trying to add to this is really trying to do a work requirement. And this is something that I know Joe Manchin really wanted to do as well, is that he was someone that wasn't necessarily against child tax credit. So specifically, we're talking about Joe Manchin. But he was just very particular because he wanted it so that the people that got the money were people that actually genuinely really needed the money. So it wasn't just going to like a very wide demographic. So the story right now is that we do have this new proposal that we already talked about, but what they're thinking about now trying to add is to essentially try to include some kind of work requirement. The, of course, not so good news is that if they end up doing that, it means that less people can physically get onto this program. But why this is maybe also some good news is that it also means that it's even more likely and more probable to get approved if, especially now that we're starting to see Joe Manchin relatively support it. Because keep in mind, a lot of the past stimulus packages, it struggled literally because of that one man. So if that one man, is now able to hopefully convert him to get to the actual side to support it, then it means that there's more hope. And I think that's really the most important thing. Now, in terms of for information, even beyond this, is that maybe another really great news to share is that President Biden did actually recently just give his State of the Union address. And the long story short, I'm pretty sure there are video clips that you can probably watch out, on the internet. But the long story short about what it is that within that speech, he actually has now officially brought back plans to do more stimulus programs. He did not mention, most people already know this, but he did not specifically use the words build back better. He didn't really use those words, but that may actually be a good thing. Because the real goal that he really has right now, I believe, is that now he's trying to, they say revival, but he's trying to, I guess you can maybe say more of like rebranding. He wants to now try to bring back talks on doing stimulus programs, but he wants to rebrand it by giving it a whole brand new name now. Now, what is this going to involve? We don't really know yet, but the really great news why this is maybe promising is because we've had so many things going on in the world right now, in Russia, in Ukraine, internationally, other countries, in our own country, with just a lot of different things, socially, politically, economically, inflation, everything that's been going on. So the good news to really what the significance is that even though there's so much stuff that's happening, now that we've officially seen him now voice some kind of return, it means that the talks for everything related to stimulus programs are now likely, or hoping, according to what he said, according to what he says, is that they're now back again. And I think that's the most important thing. So of course, beyond this we just have to really see what that actually entails as we get more information. But really beyond this is that that's pretty much what I really just wanted to share in today's update. So if you guys maybe made it this far, huge thanks for watching through. Maybe as always, consider smashing the like button, consider subscribing if you guys haven't done so. Of course, you guys can always decide. It's greatly appreciated. And as always, feel free to maybe comment any questions, personal thoughts, or stories, or honestly just really anything. And it's always great just to say hi to new and familiar faces. So that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe, stay well. If you are watching this on release date, have a great, safe, blessed weekend, and hope to see you guys next time. Thank you guys so much again.